Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is Maverick Voices, and I'm Patrick. Maverick Voices is a podcast for you, our MTC community, to share your story and your journey to MTC. This week we have Emilee. Emilee is sharing her story of being an online and virtual student and how online isn't so bad and is really convenient for her. So I want you to sit back and relax for this week's episode of Maverick Voices. Welcome to the Maverick Voices podcast. I am Patrick Bennett, your host of MTC's Maverick Voices podcast, and I'm so excited today to be here with Emilee Listman. Did I say your last name right, Emilee?
Yes, you did.
Let's run that back. All right. Welcome to the Maverick Voices podcast. I am Patrick Bennett. I am here with Emilee Listman. I'm so excited to talk to her today about her experience at MTC and just talk to her in general overall. So Emilee, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
It is a great day. It is beautiful outside, but cold as we record this podcast in January. And can't wait till the summer and spring comes. But Emilee, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background? What school you're part of, all that good type of stuff.
Of course. So, my name is Emilee Listman, and I'm actually originally from upstate New York, and I moved down here about 3 years ago. And so, right now, I'm currently enrolled in Midlands Technical College as a biology major.
So Emilee, I want to pause right there and get you. So you moved from New York to the South. So tell us a little bit, how was that transition going from being, upstate New York to all the way down here in good old South Carolina?
Definitely warmer, that's for sure.
Definitely, that is true. Definitely warmer, right? I know. Have you learned, the Southern isms? Like have you got y'all in your vocabulary? Or are you still saying you guys, your? Like how have you got those isms down yet?
Yeah, I don't say y'all, but I do say you all.
Oh, you say it the proper way. You all. All right. Emilee, so what motivates you to come pursue higher education at MTC? So what motivates you to come here?
So, I knew right out of high school that I wanted to go to college, but I didn't know where. But Midlands Tech kind of came up from my parents, and they were telling me about it's very oh sorry.
Keep
It's
going.
very accessible, and I like how you're able to complete your degree online or in person. And so I'm taking all of my classes online and virtually, which is great for my situation.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So tell me a little bit about those classes online. So when you started taking those classes online or virtually, kind of tell me a little bit about how was that process? Had you took online classes before, or was it like a brand new experience for you?
So, yes, I was actually homeschooled before
Okay.
college. And so I'm really used to the online classes and virtually. So, the virtual classes, you just kind of meet over Zoom and then you are with your professors and they go over all the lectures and everything. And then online, it's kind of more at your pace, but you just have due dates and it's lots of reading.
I can imagine it is definitely online. So, what are your specific career goals? So you say you're in biology. What are your career goals and why did you choose this particular path, whatever your career goal is?
So, my career goal is to eventually become a veterinarian. And so I chose biology because it does already in the major track complete all the recommended classes for vet school admissions.
So I want to ask you a little odd question about being a veterinarian. Um, why a veterinarian is my first question. And number two, what is your favorite animal?
Ooh, those are good questions. So I want to be a veterinarian because I want to help animals, but I also want to help people too.
Mm,
And so that career does combine the two because as a veterinarian, it's your responsibility to not only take care of the patient, but also it's basically the person's baby. It's their fur baby. And so I want to be able to be there to help them get through whatever situation their pet is going through. And
oh,
also, my favorite animal, I love them all, so it's really hard, but I do like otters and birds.
Oh, otters. Oh, that's interesting. Otters. I like that choice. So, what do you think is the benefit of attending a community college?
So I think it's definitely more affordable than a four-year university. And I think it is also more flexible too with their schedules because, like I was saying, I'm able to take my classes online, which is really great for me. And I do work outside of school as a pet sitter. So it just kind of works how the classes are laid out.
Okay. So I know we're deviating a little bit from what we talked about, but you said a pet sitter. So have you had any crazy stories being a pet sitter or anything bad happen, or you just it's been just easy sailing being a pet sitter?
Well, luckily, nothing bad has happened.
Wonderful. I'm glad about that.
Nothing really crazy other than just meeting a lot of
So,
different dogs.
so
But
are the dogs all nice?
yes, yes, they're
Okay.
all nice.
That's good. I know some dogs can be a little aggressive and bark at you all the time. So let me ask you another question. All right, we'll get back to what we're talking about. So, are you a cat person, dog person? You just love both.
I'm definitely a dog person, but I do love them both.
Wonderful. So what was your expectations coming into community college compared to reality? So basically, what's expectations and what's your reality? Or did they meet your expectations?
So my expectations, I was going in like I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna do my classes and then I'm gonna transfer. But like my experience here has actually been more than just classes. I've had opportunities to be a part of different organizations and extracurricular activities I never would have thought I would have been able to accomplish at a community college.
So to follow up on that, what are some organizations or activities that you've been a part of while you've been at MTC?
So I became the vice president of service for the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society here at Midlands. I'm also just joined the executive board for the National Society of Leadership and Success
Wow.
here, and I'm also a student ambassador. So I'm a part of the ambassador assembly. And I've also had the opportunity to present an argumentative research paper at the student conference last spring, which was super awesome.
Oh wow! So that's what was the paper about?
So it was about animal testing.
Oh, yeah. So it's interesting, I used to be a public speaking teacher, and people used to give those speeches on, animal testing about why they're for or against it, right? So it's always interesting hearing that perspective about, what these makeup brands really do when they're testing these animals and and what you can do to avoid using those brands and using alternatives. So that's really cool. So can you describe a memorable class and or professor that you've had thus far?
Oh yeah. So I've had a really great experience with all my professors here, but I think the one that stood out the most was probably Dr. Flint Martin, and she is the English 102 professor. She has helped me so much through my time here. Like she's written recommendations for me. She's helped me with scholarships. She actually helped me prepare for my presentation at the student conference too, which is great.
That is wonderful. I've had a chance to interact with Dr. Flynn Martin, and she is an excellent representation of Professor MTC with all she does. So, we talked a little about class, but how do you balance your academic commitments with your other responsibilities that you have going on outside of class?
Definitely a challenge. I'm still learning time management, but I think the greatest thing to have is a planner. A planner has definitely helped me.
2023 or 2024, the year we're in, suppose I've decided to get a planner. Even though I'm pretty feel organized, I had to figure out how to use that planner, but I finally decided to get a planner. So I really understand that planner. Are you a color coder or you just write things down?
I kind of divide it by classes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just kind of
Wonderful.
write it down, I guess.
So what strategies or resources have you found most helpful, at MTC? So what are some things that you found helpful with navigating your time at our college?
Hmm. Well, definitely the planner has helped. And I think having being able to reach out to people if you need help. Like I can reach out to my academic advisor if I ever need help with anything. And she's been really helpful with everything I needed help with. And I think that there's so many resources MTC has that you can reach out if you ever need help, like the Academic Success Center. They are very helpful. And you can reach out to really anyone for help here.
That's wonderful.
So, can you share? Have you had any challenges? While you've been in MTC and pursuing your educational goals, or just in general? Can you just name maybe one challenge that you may have had or experienced while you've been here?
One challenge was definitely it wasn't really a major challenge, but it was a class. I have a hard time sometimes balancing everything, but this one class in particular was chemistry, and I did feel very stumped in it. So it was a challenge, but I did work with my professor and trying to reach out to tutors and stuff, and I think that has definitely helped me overcome my challenge.
That's wonderful. I know when I wanted to be a doctor at one point, a medical doctor at one point, but that organic chemistry, which I never wanted to take, and I was like, all they I can do is chemistry and this math. So keep going, Emily. Keep pushing through to
Thank
get your
you.
graduate degree. So, do you have any plans to transfer to a 4 year institution or university after MTC? And if so, have you decided kind of where you want to go?
So I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be transferring to, but I know I definitely want to. So I'm looking into a few schools to apply to for this.
Okay. Well, when do you grad? Do you have a graduation time frame? When you graduate?
I am graduating this summer.
Oh, wonderful! So you'll be at graduation in the spring. Hopefully, you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Most definitely, Emily. Then I'll get to meet you in person there.
Yeah.
Um, so what advice would you offer to other students considering MTC as an option?
So I have, oh gosh, advice is amazing. So I would definitely say time management. You definitely want to be on top of that. That will help you a lot going into college. Also, is to remember your why. Why are you going to college in the first place? I know personally that has helped me get through a lot of tough classes. Is why am I doing this? What is my end goal? So I think definitely having that is important.
You really said something interesting there. General in college or life in general, that why is so important because it keeps you going from point to point and day to day when it's you're in those low moments and when you're struggling in chemistry or you're struggling writing something, right? It's that why moments. I think Emily, that is something that I'll take away from our conversation today. Is that why you got to have your why when it comes to being an MTC and being a student in general because it can definitely be challenging, especially for you, Emily, because you're taking online classes and virtual classes, and those spaces can be difficult to find that connection. But Emily has found that connection. I hope other students can find that connection online as well as virtually. Well, all right, Emily, we've come to the end of our time of our conversation. Is there anything else you want to lead us with? Any sage advice? Any quote that resonates with you that you want to leave our audience with today?
Hmm. I think, well, the MTC slogan is you can get anywhere from here. And I think that is 100% true. You really can get anywhere from here. So keep pushing, keep remembering your why, and you got this, wherever your dreams may be.
Emily, that was a wonderful way to wrap up our session for today. I want to thank Emily for being here. It was really always helpful to have student perspectives. And I want to thank my audience listening wherever you're listening at. I really appreciate you all tuning into the podcast today. And I really hope that you got something from Emily and our times together. So until next time, go Mavericks, and I'll see you
Bye.
then.